Hello, welcome back to the Michael Talks Football channel. Today's discussion is about the OFC World Cup qualification to Qatar World Cup 2022. So they finally announced the format and the teams that will be playing in the March tournament. Yes, it's going to be a tournament style format for the OFC qualifiers. And you may ask, is it going to be played in Australia? No. New Zealand? No. Is it Solomon Islands? No. Maybe Papua New Guinea? Nah. Tonga? Nope, sorry. It's in Qatar. Now, I understand why it's going to be in Qatar. They want to test out further the stadiums. And, if the stadiums are equipped to hosting these tournaments, and it's a good idea, but I think they are proving that with the Arab Cup that is being played at the moment. My problem is, you're going to ask Tonga, Cook Islands, and these sort of small nations from the OFC to travel, 8,000 kilometers to Qatar. Now, I hope FIFA is going to pay for those flights, because if they don't, I think that's a disgrace. They're going to have 22 players, of course, and they're going to have medical staff. They're going to have the coaches. I don't know if the federations can afford to pay that, especially during the pandemic where they didn't play any matches, it seemed like, any of the OFC teams. So this is a huge gamble. And all I want to say is, if FIFA are not paying for this, it's just another reason why I don't care for FIFA as an organization. They need to support these OFC nations. I have no clue if they're going to pay for it. I have not checked any of these details. This is what I'm just saying, if they have not paid for it. But let's look at the format quickly, guys, of this. So the tournament will be played from the 14th to the 30th of March. Now, that's interesting as well, because international break doesn't start then. So when you're thinking of players like Chris Wood from New Zealand and other players of the New Zealand national team that play in Europe, they won't be able to come at the start of the tournament. They'll have to come mid-tournament and play for the national team. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference for New Zealand. They should obviously get out of this group and should win this tournament quite easily, let's be honest here. But that will make a difference. Cohesion in the squad and all that sort of stuff. So how many teams are there going to be? There's 9 teams that are currently in the groups. No, excuse me, guys. There's 7 teams that are currently in the group, and there's going to be a playoff, 1-game playoff. Tonga against the Cook Islands. Crazy. They're going to have 1 game, travel 8,000 kilometers away to Qatar to see who will qualify to the group stage of this tournament. Now, can I give you a prediction of who will win this? No, I cannot, because I don't know these teams. I will give predictions maybe in March. I'll do further research on these national teams, see if they have played any games. I don't think any of these OFC teams have played any games in the last couple of years since the pandemic has started. So here are the groups, guys, and here are the teams that are going to play. Pot 1, there was New Zealand, 110th ranked in the world. Solomon Islands are 141st. New Caledonia, 153rd. Yeah, guys, this is the 100 ranked squad right here. Tahiti, 159th. Obviously, they were in the Confederations Cup in the 2013, and they scored a goal against Nigeria. Pot 2 has Fiji, 161st. Vanuatu, 163rd. And Papua New Guinea, 164th. And obviously, the qualification match will determine the last participant. So in Group A, Solomon Islands, Tahiti, Vanuatu, and the winner between Cook Islands and Tonga. And then the Group B, there's New Zealand, New Caledonia, Fiji, and Papua New Guinea. So all of these matches will be played in March. And then obviously there is a semifinals and a final to determine then who will play in the final. And the winner of that final will go to the Intercontinental Playoff and play the 4th place CONCACAF team. Now, this is going to be an interesting tournament, considering that the fact that it's not an OFC. It really isn't. Some of these players, when you think of Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, Tonga, Cook Islands, Solomon Islands, they have probably never played on pitches that they will be playing at in Qatar, which is a fantastic thing for them. And it's going to be very interesting to see how will they play on these pitches. They're going to be pristine, world-class pitches compared to what they have in the OFC region. So I think that's a good thing, but I'm just not a fan of it being hosted in Qatar. I think it should be maybe hosted in Australia. It's not, not the whole of Australia is in a lockdown. That's why I don't understand why. I guess they want to prepare more for Qatar and hosting the World Cup, because it's going to be a big deal. But seriously, all the way in Qatar. Obviously, guys, the scheduling for this has been a catastrophe. Qualifying was initially expected to begin in September 2020, but FIFA international window in that month for OFC was postponed in June 2020 due to the pandemic, of course, and the Intercontinental Playoffs were also moved from March to June 2022. in November 2020, the OFC announced that the qualifying process was now delayed until initially June 2021. The Confederation announced that this time frame would not be achievable, but a potential option was organized to organize the competition in January 2022, keeping the FIFA international match calendar dates in March available for preparation matches ahead of the intercontinental playoffs. So yeah, guys, whoever wins this is their preparation for the CONCACAF fourth place team. And we know who's going to win this tournament. If it's not New Zealand, holy cow, then Solomon Islands or New Caledonia or Tahiti are only then 90 minutes away from the Qatar World Cup and making their debut. That would be unreal. You expect New Zealand to make it out of it. But we have seen stranger things in football in the last couple of years. Let's be honest. If we get a surprise like Solomon, because in the intercontinental playoffs, guys, you have to remember one match. It's one match, neutral ground. Beforehand, in the last couple of World Cup qualifiers, it's been 2 legs, home and away. Now it's only one game, neutral zone. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe New Zealand can finally return to the World Cup after their last appearance in the 2010 World Cup, where they were the only undefeated team. They drew 3 games in the group stage. Unfortunately, they did not get out of it. So that is kind of just a little bit of preparation and outlook on this whole OFC tournament, how it's going to be played out, how it's going to be organized. It's weird. It's weird, but at least these teams get to have a chance of having a qualifying process. It's nice to see. I just don't know why it's hosting in Qatar. That's just my big thing. All right, guys. So you guys give me your thoughts of the tournament of the OFC World Cup qualifiers. Finally going to be started in March. Fantastic news for all these small nations like Tahiti, Fiji, Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, New Caledonia. I'm not counting New Zealand as a small nation. They have a small population, but they are much bigger than compared to these other small island nations. So give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and see you guys next time.